Hey, hi everybody here. I'm Marlon from JiuJitsu Heritage, and let me start off by saying thank you. Because the only reason we're producing this is because you guys are out there. So we're thankful and honored. I know these are strange times, and let me start off by saying that our school, we're gonna keep it closed until further notice. We're gonna close down our operations until the government sees it fit and everything in the environment feels safer. I will tell you that we have bought like desanitizing equipment, etc. So once we open back up, it's gonna be better than ever. But to that point, we're gonna be following the guidelines, and of course, as recommended, we're not gonna be operating for the time being. That doesn't mean that we're not gonna be learning and continuing to grow. So we're gonna constantly be producing videos and materials of things that your kids can do by themselves or with a partner, and that partner could be you as a parent. And by the way, if it's you, get ready because it's a hard workout. You're gonna get sweaty. Don't go with that. Yeah, don't go with high heels or something to train them.
And the kids are gonna go harder on you, so
yes, and your kids.
get ready.
You'll figure out that your kids only have one speed, and that's full force forward. Right? On that side, while your kids are training or while your kids are doing anything else, if you need anything from our end, feel free to contact us. If you record your kids while they're doing the techniques, send it to us, please. If you send it to us, I'll evaluate it with Marlon and we'll give you one-on-one feedback. He can work on that, she can work on that. And they can progress. And if we see progression, we can then further later on, as things clear up, even schedule some private classes one-on-one with the kids so we can evaluate them and progress them. I want them to be rewarded for the effort that they're putting. Because I know it feels cool to be studying at home, etc., but it's really hard to take a kid out of the normal environment, putting in a new environment and forcing them to do the old things in this new place. So I know it's even hard for them. So we want to reward that progress only if you allow us during that process. So we're going to record some solo drills, basic moves that we have been working on, so you can review it with them and you can do it as multiple games, and we're going to do some drills that you can just play with your kids. Okay? So if you play with your kids, we're going to give you some details of how we do the things in class, so it's safe at your place. If you have some baby mats, like the puzzle mats, it could be good to do it. I will tell you, be careful, because especially as an adult, when you put weight on them, they split easily, right? So put them in a corner or something, or just don't go super hard. Or and if you have like some yoga mats, you can also do that, right? So be careful. But we're gonna be sending you this, and as you can, send us back the feedback so we can evaluate the kids. And of course, I mean, we missed them. I have to be honest with that. I truly miss all the students. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys, not only as your kids, but you as a family, you don't get impacted by this, and you don't get hit by this, and please be safe. Anyways, let me move forward. So, a couple of things. I'll give you some of the games that we have been playing with the kids. So I'll tell you a little secret. I know the video is gonna be lengthy, but I want to give you techniques that you can do at home. I'll give you a secret of what we do in class. The class, even though kids don't see it, is always divided in 4 stages. The reason we do that is because that's typically what a kid goes through on the normal school day. We have 4 stages: the welcome stage, the end stage, and there's 2 stages that happen right in the middle, right? So that when the kids get in and they always go into the line and structure, is because it's the same thing that you guys have at home. You wake up your kids at 7 o'clock or whatever the time it is. They wash your teeth, they change the clothing, etc. So that first stage, you can still do all these things at your home. So I'll teach you 4 different things that you can train. One thing that you can do with your kids at home is just keep the structure. So if school days they woke up at 7 a.m., wake them up at 7 a.m., change the clothing, no pajamas, so they mentally feel different. That's one of the main important things that the gi brings to them. You put the gi on, they know he's training. So even when
Ready to go.
they're ready to go. So even when you're doing the drills, and if you're gonna record it to them, to me and to Martin, just record them and have them dress up. So if you provide that structure in your house, is great. So they wake up at the same time, they go to bed at the same time. It helps a lot. Second thing that we do during the class, and it is hidden, is kids need a time of fun. But if I only do fun, then they get bored of having fun. And then you go like, well, you've been playing all day. I mean, you've probably been through that. But you only appreciate the fun when you don't have it. So when you're given the time for your kids just to play around, etc., it has to be controlled. It cannot be fully open, because if not, and they get bored of it. The third stage, that's why sometimes we do running, etc., and they just having a blast, and I let them talk, and it doesn't matter if they're in order or not. That's the fun part of the class for them. Then I go into the third part, which is always responsibilities. There should be some responsibilities, not only in the school. Here in the dojo, that's the workout. I know it sucks, but it's your responsibility to get stronger, better. So you still do it. It may be as simple as you take out the trash, but those responsibilities, if you build them into them, they'll suck, but they will make the fun a lot funner. And the last part is always have something to make them better and grow. I like reading. When I train that, and during the class, that's the part that we teach the technique. So sometimes you can do something that makes you better and also is fun for you. I mean, for me, training it makes me better, and I enjoy it. For some, reading is fun and better. For some, it's the video games, like me. For some of the kids that also are watching this, I love the video games. So Martin too.
Oh yeah.
We play different games, but we play. So let us give us a couple of the drills. So first drills that you can do in your house is very basic, is the shifting of the animal movements. Number one, elephant. So elephant, very simple. Feet. These are the details that you as an adult can know, so you can teach your kid. You see how my feet are not planted on the ground, they're always tippy-toeing. The reason we do this is because when they grow older, the way that you apply pressure into somebody is by pushing down with your tippy toes. So this move you can do in your house. If you don't have a big space, you can just do regular circles. If you have a big space, you can walk. And if you do it with them, you're gonna see how hard this is. Now you can shift along the movement and also add the crab walk. So you can go 1, 2. And you may think, why those animals? Well, what they're really learning is how to escape a lot of moves. I'll show you one. So Martin, like, put your back on top of me, like 4 points, and do this. Like when somebody grabs you here. So think about it. Somebody collapses you in front, I can do elephant, and then I do the crab. You see, they all fall. Even though it's fun, I just want you as a parent to see that it's just not a game. They're actually learning the things while they're playing on it. So you can do little drills. If you can have your kids do that at home, just record it for me, so I can see them how they're walking, how quickly they can, and then you can have them do it with one leg. And you can even do a stationary, where you call them, is like Simon says, like, no leg, one leg, other leg, no leg, tap, one leg, and this movement right here, where you're just changing. It's fun, simple, you can play with them, and if not, they can also do it by themselves. Another solo drill that I want your kids to always be practicing is the bridges. I'm gonna send you the adult video alongside of this, so you see it. You see how important the bridge is, because I train it a lot with the adults. So one thing that you can do with your kids is just have them do sets of 10. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just 10. That movement in itself, super important. And if they're super flexible or they're more they're older, they can already put the knee on the other way. So they can do bridge and kick the leg. Bridge and kick the leg. Bridge and kick the leg. And that helps me if Coach Marlon is on top of me. If a person is very heavy, that allows me to kick and kick them out of me. They're learning the movement just by doing the bridge. So if you can record that, great. Now, some games that you can play with your kids. So one of the games that I always like is the game of the back take. It's very simple, very cool. It teaches them about grip fighting. It teaches them about control. And what they're basically trying to do is mount your back. So Marlon mounts me. As you see the mount here, I'm gonna sit down. If you see the mount, his hands are pointing up, his feet are inside, never crossed. So basically, this is what is happening. Of course, Marlon is like a heavy baby, so it's hard for me to do everything. So you're basically like this and you're shaking them off. If you have a kid who's smaller, the way I always make this sure is safe for them is to, I can compact. If you see, I collect my elbow to my knee, and that block that leg from falling over. Or sometimes you'll see I'm lifting the leg so you can see I grab the kid's leg right here. That's how I prevent for them from falling on top of me. I grab the leg right here, and I move so he doesn't fall. And I always, for him to disengage, tap, and he disengages. So the game that you can play as a parent, if you're tired, you can start on your knees. If you're in good shape, start like this. And tell them, okay, try to catch me. Try to catch me. And you're moving, and they'll probably need to grab onto you, or grab your shirt, and boom, until they get it. That is also something they can train with a partner. That could be a sibling or with you. It's a very cool game. As you can see, that's elephant. That means that if your kid grabs your back, you as a parent, or you can help them go it straight into the crab position. You see, because that sits him down, and now I can do my bridge. So see, he doesn't have my back no more, and I can escape. And we can connect all these different moves that we're doing, all right? So it's a couple of like simple games. The new game that I also want to share with you is the spider kick. It's very important that the person goes on top of you. If you have a partner, even better, the kid goes on top of you. You gotta remind your kid that you're very ugly, so he doesn't look at you. When you're training this, always cup under his armpits. Never put the hands in the chest, because your kids will mirror you, and putting the hands on the chest of somebody is a mistake. They'll catch you immediately. If I push off, Marlon can just armbar me, and they'll develop a bad habit that puts them in danger. So don't do that. Always put the hand under the armpit, so they even feel this. And what you're gonna do first is you tell them to keep the hands open, and you just push them off. You push them off. You see, very simple. You test them. Now, the second level of it is that I can push them to the side and they grab the head. So if I push him that way, this hand grabs my head. So the harder I push, it's just like I'm pushing myself. And then I switch. And then I switch. And then I switch. Third move is the swimming. I push up, and look how Coach Marlon just goes one side, swims in, other hand, swims in, and returns. And this is a very cool drill that you can do with your kids. Spider one, switch, without trapping the head. I push off, swim, swim. Pretty simple things that you can teach your kids, so when they get top control, they can keep it. Okay? We call that move the spider kid because they're basically doing the Spider-Man.
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 They can train it solo. If they don't have a partner and you don't feel that well, they can train it solo. 1, 2. You see, shoulders down. To this day, the adult classes, I make them do this. Just so they learn, even though they don't know why they're doing the stretch. So it's a simple move that you can train with your kids. And again, if you, I'll repeat the whole sequence, but the whole sequence could be like this. With your kids at home, you have them just do the elephants, grab, elephants, grab, elephant, run, bridge, 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 bridge. Then the game of take the back first without any resistance, where they just go in, boom, you check, everything is good, out. I resist, so I start moving, they have to grab their check. Now I move to shake them off. If your kid is little, grab them by the foot so they don't fall off. You can move, grab the foot so he doesn't fall off or she doesn't fall off. And then the mount thing, where the person goes at the top. One side, spider kid, push off, swim. And if you are an overachiever as a parent or as a sibling and you want to play even better, this is the game. The goal of Marlon is to get on top of me, mount me, or get my back. So I start like this, and his goal is to mount me. And my only goal is not to let him. So I can do all the moves I know. So he goes, try to mount me. And I can do, turtle, elephant. So, I don't know. Turtle. I go down, yes, and then he gets me. Now my turn. See the concept? So if you have the ability to do this game with your kids, do so and record it. It's gonna be fun. Plus you're gonna see how hard the workout it actually is. I started this video quite dry. Look at me right now. Well, jokes aside, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this.
We appreciate it very much.
Yeah, and we truly miss you guys. So in anything that we can be there for your kids, in any, from a call to even when you're doing this, see if we're available. I'll do the video conference with you and I'll see it online. We want to be there for your kids. But again, train these moves with your kids, play with them, record them, send it to me, send it to Marlon so we can evaluate it and we can mark progression points. And we're going to be recording more videos like this so you can teach and keep your kids improving at your own pace. Also, like we talked at the beginning, just don't break them so far away from the structure that you guys have. So on Mondays, you wake up early, you do the classes, which is your responsibilities. You have a specific time to play, and then you have a specific time to do something that makes you better. It could be reading, it could be something, it could be working out, whatever it is. But have a space for that, because if not, they'll do whatever I did when I was younger. Every single time I had is just video games. So, yeah, that's not good, even though I love them. Thank you so much. And I hope truly this doesn't impact you as a family, and please be safe. Please be safe. Yes.
Thank you. And hopefully we see you soon.
Yeah. There we go.